everyone, Dev with Crime Hive, and in this true crime video we're talking about two missing people here, and pretty recent. The first one that we're going to cover is with Stephanie Hollingsworth out of Florida, and then after that we're going to cover another recent missing person here. This is 38-year-old Holly Courtier, and she's missing out of Utah. And so we'll talk about the specifics on these cases. And before I do, again, Dev with Crime Hive, if you like these kind of true crime videos, just be sure to hit the subscribe button. The bell notification, if you hit that to all, that will give you all updates for these cases, all the cases that I'm currently covering. And let's continue with this first case here with Stephanie Hollingsworth. So she comes out of Belle Isle and she makes a trip into Florida to a Florida Walmart. And we know that she did this on Friday, the 25th of September. That's when she was last seen. That's when she goes missing. And we know she takes this, it's a 2000 Chevy Tahoe, and it's a champagne colored vehicle, bears the Florida tag of Y50XUR. That's really important because her vehicle has not been recovered. And so we're not sure where she is, where her vehicle is, but that's a huge clue. That's a huge piece to this puzzle. Is if we can find that vehicle, we can potentially figure out, where she is if she's not with her vehicle. But there's been some reports, and we'll talk about a couple of those reports regarding the vehicle here in just a minute. A couple things as well. If you've seen right here, that's a $5,000 reward. It's actually doubled. It's now at $10,000. So if you happen to be in that area in Orlando or around Belle Isle, call this number. The police department there, it's at 407-836-4357. And let's talk about some more specifics here with this case. So I'm going to show you the surveillance video of her last, or where she was last seen, which was at the Walmart. And as I'm going through this article here with Fox 35, it mentions a couple other things here that we learn, and I've read in a few different articles. She leaves from her home, and we know that she takes her purse with her. She does have some money, but she leaves her phone. And then apparently she doesn't take her makeup. She doesn't take clothing with her, extra clothing. She just takes a couple items. And so we're assuming it's going to be a quick trip from her home to this Walmart in Orlando. So she takes off in her vehicle, in this vehicle, the 2000 silver or champagne colored Chevy Tahoe, and they describe her as 115 pounds. She's about 5'4", brown hair, brown eyes, and apparently she was last seen wearing a black shirt and gray and black pants. And we know she's also a mother to 3 teenagers. So I want to show you the clip here of this. It's really short. It's about 12 seconds long. And it just shows her in the Walmart store. The timestamp shows 13:58, so it's about 2 in the afternoon. So that's about 1:58 p.m. And she just kind of walks in and out, right? And we know that she also makes a transaction nearby. So I want to show you a couple things here. So this is the Walmart here. But we know that she makes this transaction at the bank of... Oh, something's going off there. So we know... Let me pause that real quick. There we go. Okay. So we know that she was at this ATM right here, right? So this ATM, it's a Bank of America ATM. She spends $20. It's with $20, or excuse me, she withdraws $20 from the Bank of America ATM. So it's right here, really in the same vicinity. You got the Walmart Supercenter here, and then it's a 4-minute drive. If she were walking there to that ATM, it'd be about 7 minutes. So it's just right in that same vicinity. And we haven't really seen if there was any surveillance or footage of her at the ATM. I'm really curious about all that, because it seems like this was the last known location that anybody really saw her. We don't know what really happens in this parking lot. Does she safely make it back to her vehicle and take off in her vehicle? Did something happen in that parking lot? And there's usually cameras all over the place in Walmart, right? So when you're looking at here, and I pulled up the Orlando Walmart here, there's cameras all over. You got them all over the top usually. I pulled up this area of the parking lot as I was kind of scrolling around. They have the cameras oftentimes up on the poles. They have these pole cameras, and and it's a big parking lot though. I mean, it's a massive parking lot as you're kind of scrolling around here to show you. There's a lot of activity that goes on in this Walmart right here. So apparently they're struggling to find footage. I'm wondering if cameras were down or what may have occurred, because we learned in a new article, a recent article here, that the family here, and you've got Scott Hollingsworth, the husband to Stephanie. He's been very active, working around the clock here trying to find her. He's set up volunteer efforts and or setting up volunteer groups and just searching, just looking and trying everything he can. So he seems like he's really involved in that. He doesn't seem suspicious anyway. Police have not found any sign of foul play or anything suspicious at this point. So we just know she's missing. There's not many clues, but they're looking to use some new technology. And this was really interesting. This satellite imagery from space agencies were sought in this case. So that doesn't happen very often. But as I was going through here, here's what they're looking to do. So you've got Scott. They're talking about getting these agencies involved in helping to locate her, to help locate Stephanie when she was in her vehicle or heading to her vehicle or leaving the parking lot at Walmart. So they did a news conference on this, and apparently they kind of teamed up with this retired Orlando police detective, Bill Moore, and he talks about this technology. So he says that they're seeking help from NASA and SpaceX, L3 Harris Technologies, Microsoft, Amazon, and geospatial enthusiasts. So what they're trying to do is they're hoping that they can get lucky enough to have a satellite passing overhead to capture her walking to the car or leaving the parking space. So really interesting there. They're trying to get that from, of course, September 25th. And so I'd like to figure out what happens with that update. That would be really interesting to see if they get anything from that technology from the satellite. So that was a new development there. And again, it's becoming pretty concerning because she's been missing for about 3 weeks. One of the details I wanted to mention is there was a tip, and I don't know if this is verified for sure, but apparently there was a vehicle matching this description on Narcoossee Road, which is the same road really where that Walmart is, and it was heading towards SR 417 and SR 528. So if you happen to know that area, I know that may not mean much to many others, but if you happen to know that area, you're just in that vicinity, just be alert, keep alert. It's possible that you could spot that vehicle or her. And again, we just don't know if there's any criminal activity or what's going on in that case. If you guys have any updates, please comment below. Let us know. The community is pretty active now, and I really appreciate all of you. Just the community around Crime Hive is great, and I think we can really learn some great things, some updates, and move these types of cases along. So that's what I wanted to point out there with that case. Now, the next one I want to get into here, and in this one, she's really been missing just since October 6th, about 1:30 p.m. And so, her name again is Holly Suzanne Courtier, and I've got this photo here because she went to the Zion National Park, and she traveled there to go on a hike. She's from California, but we've learned some details about her and her situation, and kind of more about this case. So this is what she looks like. She apparently she lost her job as a nanny, and because of COVID and all those things going on, so she decides, she gets a van, fixes up the van to allow her to travel around to all these national parks. Apparently that was her goal, was to visit all of the national parks in the US. And so she was just traveling around in this van and just apparently enjoying herself, having a good time with these hikes and trips. And so she goes out to Utah to this Zion National Park, and she'd been there before, and apparently she's an experienced hiker. And so she shows up there, and apparently we've learned from a lot of these reports that you have to take a shuttle. You can't drive into this particular park. So she gets onto the shuttle, and this is about 1 p.m. And so the last known sighting of her is about 1:30 p.m. we've heard, and that's because, and it says it right here, about 1:30 p.m. on October 6th. So we've learned that there are cameras at the entrance and the exit. So we know that she goes on this hike. She's getting off the shuttle. She's going into the park, but the cameras never show her leaving the park. So she never makes it back to the shuttle, which was at about 4:30 p.m. She was supposed to get on the shuttle, and she never does. And so her daughter's been very outspoken about it, very concerned, because it's been just nearly a week right now, and we don't know what kind of supplies she has. We know that there's some running water in this park there. Maybe she can find some food. It takes place right here in Utah. It's pretty close, really, to Arizona. You can see right here with the Zion National Park, and it's a beautiful park. Just to give you an idea of kind of what this area looks like. So it's pretty vast, pretty big area. The search efforts are underway. You've got the National Park Service involved. They're actually trying to locate her, and there's just been few clues right now. And apparently they were going to stop searching because they just didn't have enough information to continue the search. And so, there's a lot of volunteer groups out there looking for her, from what I've heard. And there's just not a lot of evidence here to support where she may be in this park that we know of. So I'll keep you posted on that. But if you happen to be in this area in Utah, families really reaching out. I mean, they're posting on Instagram. We know that they're, again, very worried for her safety because of the situation with how many days it's been since she's been missing. There was no indication that she had any mental health issues. Nothing like that was mentioned. She seemed to be in good spirits. Don't know too much though about this particular case, other than she's still missing. And if you have information on some of these cases here, you can always provide a tip to, if you go to Crime Line. This gives you, it's an anonymous way that you can go in and you can provide tips for these types of cases. So I want to pull that up. That's a really helpful resource for anyone who may be worried, they don't want to be acknowledged or seen giving these kinds of tips. You can be completely anonymous, and you can go to Crime Line. And then also with the missing person here in Utah, we've got the National Park Service has their own call and tip lines as well that you can go to, and you can even email them. So there's a lot of resources there, and they're highly involved in that. So that's really all I wanted to share in this video. Got those two cases here. If you happen to be in those areas, again, let someone know. Go to those resources that I mentioned so that we can try to locate them. And I'm trying something a little new. Let me know how this is at the very end. I'm thinking about incorporating something a little positive at the end of each video. And so if you're happy where I'm leaving off now, you can leave the video. Otherwise, I'm just going to show a quick positive image for everyone, because we, as true crime enthusiasts, we get pretty entrenched in this and a lot of negativity. And I think it's good to maybe end these videos with something positive at the end. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you like that idea, I can incorporate these kind of things, maybe a short story, something positive just to end the video. If you don't like it, no big deal. I like to experiment and try new things with these videos. And again, this is Dev with Crime Hive. I will be back in another video with some other cases and with updates on these cases. You all take care. Thanks.